The Eternals were supposed to make a cameo in Moon Knight. What happened? Marvel has been releasing several projects for Phase 4, which has included projects such as WandaVision, Loki, Black Widow, What If, Spider-Man No Way Home, Eternals, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Hawkeye, and most recently, Moon Knight. But did you know that some of the Eternals were originally going to make a cameo in Moon Knight? So what happened? And why was the cameo cut? Keep watching to find out more. First up, Marvel's newest project. Moon Knight is the Marvel Cinematic Universe's most recent Phase 4 project, starring popular actor Oscar Isaac, who is most known for his role as Poe Dameron in the Star Wars franchise. His newest role followed Stephen Grant, a quiet gift shop employee who soon discovers he has dissociative identity disorder and shares a body with Mark Spector. Unlike Spider-Man No Way Home, Hawkeye, or Multiverse of Madness, the show didn't have surprising cameos from other characters of the MCU. That could have been a possibility, however. So, who was supposed to appear in the show? Director Jeremy Slater discussed his attempts in an interview of who he tried to get to appear in Moon Knight. The Eternals characters had their roles played by quite a few well-known names, including Cersei, played by Gemma Chan, Thena, played by Angelina Jolie, Icarus, played by Richard Madden, and Salma Hayek as Ajax. So which character was supposed to make a cameo in the new MCU show? Well, it was none other than Kingo, played by Kumail Nanjiani. Kingo was comedic relief in the film Eternals, as he had put his superhero past behind him in attempts to become a famous Bollywood actor. However, when deviants, unique monsters the clan had thought they'd gotten rid of years ago, begin to cause chaos once again, he's recruited once again to save the world from a problem that's more complicated than it seems. Kingo possessed cosmic energy powers in the movie, and although used for comedic relief, he was a very strong superhero as well. Jeremy Slater revealed that, "I tried very hard to get the Eternals into the show, just because I'm buddies with Kumail Nanjiani. I wanted some Kingo." The MCU director also gave some insight to the planned scene, saying that at one point there was a flashback on the page that sort of showed one of Khonshu's avatars back in ancient Egypt, sort of dealing with Ammit being locked away and Alexander the Great and all of that stuff. He continued, "You sort of saw this avatar team up with the Eternals. It was a really fun scene, but again it was so massively expensive to recreate ancient Egypt to sort of bring in 3 or 4 of the Eternals to have this big action sequence. So why didn't Kingo make an appearance?" Seeing as Kingo was one of the Eternals' most well-liked characters, and as other TV shows and movies from the MCU have had cameos, why not Moon Knight, which has gotten rave reviews? Well, according to Jeremy Slater, the reason Kingo didn't make an appearance in this series was because of financial issues. It was one of those things where it was a very fun scene and it would have been a great cold open to one of the episodes, the director prefaced, but it also would have had to come out of our budget somewhere else and probably would have hurt our finale along the way, the director revealed. The director defended his decision, saying, "It hurt, but it was also the right thing to do for the show," and I think everyone sort of collectively agreed. There's plenty of time in the future to team this guy up with other characters of the MCU and start building these connections. Let's not force something just because all the other shows have had it. Although the MCU is a billion-dollar company, they do have to consider budgeting for upcoming Marvel films and shows, like She-Hulk with CGI, Ms. Marvel, The Marvels, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, not to mention that a new season of Daredevil was just announced as well. Now, let's discuss Moon Knight Season 2. Although fans were disappointed there were no cameos in the Moon Knight series, could there be room for that in the future? The future of the series is uncertain, as the other MCU series such as WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Hawkeye have stuck to one season. However, Loki is confirmed for a second season and is said to be even weirder, since Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness has opened up even more possibilities for the multiverse and the TVA. So since Marvel has already taken steps for a season 2 for one of their shows, this could mean a season 2 of Moon Knight could be released. In fact, Disney Plus already hinted to that. The account of Disney Plus Hotstar India tweeted that they can't decide what's harder, dealing with heat or waiting for the second season of #Moon Knight. The actors of the show haven't spoken about whether they would return for a second season or not, but Marvel had addressed the show's final episode as the season finale, not the series finale. While WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Hawkeye's season or series finale endings open up the perfect opportunity for the transition into the already made or upcoming Marvel films. Moon Knight could take its own pathway, not leading into an MCU movie, but but rather sticking to its original TV show format. Now that we summarized everything in Moon Knight, let's talk about the only MCU hero to get a fourth movie as a solo character, Thor. Thor: Love and Thunder was announced last year, but instead of being released earlier like fans had hoped, it's being released July 8th of this year, which is still very soon. The film will feature Chris Hemsworth reprising his role as Thor. Some of the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy, including Chris Pratt as Peter Quill, Dave Bautista as Drax, Bradley Cooper as Rocket the Raccoon, and Pom Klementieff as Mantis. Not only that, but Natalie Portman will be appearing as Jane Foster, Thor's ex, maybe not for long, girlfriend. The plot follows the events after Avengers Endgame. Thor's story in the beginning of the newest trailer is narrated by Korg, voiced by Taika Waititi, who narrates Thor getting whipped back into shape, and all seems to be looking up for the God of Thunder until, well, keep watching to find out. And now, what has Jane Foster been up to? Sticking to the comics, Marvel decided to go the route of Jane Foster becoming the mighty Thor and being able to wield his special hammer, Mjolnir. Thor was in the middle of battling creatures that are yet to be revealed in the trailer before Jane stole his thunder and retrieved the special hammer before him. The shock on his face is amusing as he exclaimed, "Jane?" The trailer then revealed that while Jane questioned Thor if it's been 3-4 years since they last spoke, according to Thor, it's been 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days. So for some of her time away from Thor, Jane might have actually been blipped, which is what happened to other characters temporarily as well in Avengers Infinity War, such as Bucky Barnes, Wanda Maximoff, and Peter Parker. So Jane might have missed a few years. If Jane was among those who died as a result of that failure, it would make sense that Thor's grief was even deeper than anyone expected. Comicbook.com explains. It would also explain why Thor seemed exceptionally sad about Jane later in the film, when he explains about Jane and the Ether. In terms of Love and Thunder, Thor seeing Jane again now definitely adds a new layer to things, which are already a little complicated because she's now Mighty Thor. And Jane was originally scripted in a deleted scene to have been mentioned to be blipped. Finally, there's some other Easter eggs in the trailer. Did you know that 2 special actors other than Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman also made an appearance in the Thor: Love and Thunder trailer? It was revealed early on that Christian Bale, known for being in DC, will be Gorr, the God Butcher, and the villain of the show. Not only that, but it was also shown that actor Russell Crowe will be the god Zeus in the movie as well. Another thing fans pointed out was how Loki made a small appearance in the trailer. Well, his helmet did. At a certain point at the end of the trailer, when Thor is shown shirtless, he's donning new tattoos on his back, one of them revealing to be a very large tattoo of Loki's helmet, with the letters R.I.P. Loki as well. For those who are not familiar, Loki is Thor's brother, and while they've had their strife, with Loki betraying Thor multiple times, Loki redeemed himself in Avengers Infinity War when he handed the Tesseract to Thanos, the object he's been wanting for years, to protect his brother from being killed. However, Thanos killed Loki instead, which is why Thor felt the need to honor him in a unique way. So, what did you learn from this video? Are you disappointed that Jeremy Slater opted to not go with a Moon Knight cameo? Are you excited for the Thor: Love and Thunder movie? Comment down below what you've learned.